Good evening. Hello, Charlene.
My phone's gone then. Hiya.
How you doing? You all right?
Phone just went then. I'm all right. You?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm not too bad, Tom. Not too bad. I'm just still waiting for Mike to come in.
Yep.
It's a bit awkward with when you're trying to work with around American times as well. Some Mike's just coming in now. Some people sort of work. Obviously, some of them are like, for them it's like 3 PM now, and some it's 2 PM. So you've got to try and work around the times, if you know what I mean. So I hope everybody's well. Thank you for being patient with regards to the 10 minutes for everybody to be able to clap for the NHS. So just a few hellos before I bring Mike on. Hi Ingrid, hi Brenda, hello Kirsty Armod, hi Noreen, hi Sam, hello Melissa Sullivan, hi Karen Ward Amos, hi Julie, hi Sean, hi Callie. Let's go down this list. Hi Lee, how are you? Hi Natalie Armod. Tracy Evans, another mod. Got a few mods on. Hi Davey as well, mod. So thanks guys. I'm going to bring Mike on now, so we can have start having a bit of a chinwag. Hello, Mike.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, my friend. Your microphone sounds really good, mate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mike, this is Charlene.
Mike.
So,
hello, nice to meet you.
What I'll do is I'll get Charlene to introduce herself to you in a sec and explain to you. She probably gets fed up of saying this. So either that or she's got a little script of what it is. So
I have.
I'll get Charlene to introduce herself and as to what she does in the industry and what she doesn't do, I should say, because there's a massive long list.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Over to you, Charlene.
So I run Paranormal Hauntings. It's a page group. Also Haunted Explorers. Basically I vlog, do video content, live streaming, urban Xing, everything paranormal related or abandoned building related I do. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And she's sitting in a room full of haunted objects at the minute as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to have one of them
Are those dolls back there?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a few in there.
Sweet. Okay.
So, Mike, so for everybody obviously in the chat, I'll let you introduce yourself, who you are, what you get up to, and
all right. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Over to you, mate.
All right. So my name is Mike Cardenas. I'm the founder for Midnight Paranormal Society here in San Antonio, Texas. I actually put my team together because of my experiences growing up. When I was a kid, I was affected by the Ouija board. It was brought into our home, not by choice, of course. And the person who played it, they went on their way. They took off. They didn't care what were the repercussions. And so my mom being a single parent, we became plagued by certain paranormal occurrences. And so fast forward to now, I wanted to create a team to kind of give back to those who were like myself, people who didn't understand what was going on or why it was happening, and how we can kind of better help them understand and just bring a peace of mind knowing that they weren't alone. So that's what I do. And also, due to this quarantine, because of this COVID-19, I actually started our own live podcast show. So I myself do the Midnight Paranormal Society show, and I bring on guests just like yourself. I bring on guests and I interview them and kind of get to know them. And our viewers that we have, we make it really intimate for them. So our viewers, we call them the Midnight Watchers. And so for our Midnight Watchers, we try to keep them entertained and of course under the circumstance of this COVID. So we want to let them know they're not alone, and we're here with them as well. It's a global thing that's happening. But besides that, we do everything paranormal. We love it, man. This is what we just strive to try to make a better place for everybody who's in it.
Awesome. So, I mean, we've had a few people on from America over the last week, haven't we, Charlene? So Charlene joins me. Charlene joins me a few times a week, and so obviously, I I'm not used to doing all the vlogging and everything. You see, where Charlene is, so I'm still learning the ropes in some ways. But so Charlene, she's very good with her journalism, her questions and things like that. So me, I kind of wing it, but
I've already got 10 questions that I want to ask him.
So
Awesome.
Just from what he said.
so obviously we've kind of noticed a trend over the last couple of weeks where you guys over in America, you do things in the paranormal very differently to the way we do things over here in a lot of ways. I think Charlene and I probably agree on the fact that one of the things we noticed over here, we're very much live streaming, but it's more about our gadgets and gizmos and apps and things like that over here. And, whereas in the States, you guys are very much more the historical and looking up, any information you possibly can. We get a lot of people like Charlene herself who does that here, but it's a lot, from the sounds of it, it's a lot more widespread where you guys are.
Yeah, definitely. It's the one thing I tell people is that when you go to an investigation, one of the most important things besides safety is knowledge of where you're at. You want to make sure you have information. That way, when you're trying to connect with whatever's there, you want to be able to ask relevant questions to the location.
100% agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we are lacking that over here at the minute. I think the entertainment factor comes in a lot more over here at the minute.
Yeah.
We're hoping that declines,
Yeah.
and that knowledge and sharing and I mean, I've got no qualms against people that do it for entertainment, but it does kind of grab you a bit when you do see it. But yeah, I'm all for researching and looking at history, locations, and then investigating it and seeing if tallies up and everything. I think it's the main thing of your investigation. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna ask the question that was dying to ask.
Go for it.
I've actually never really met anyone that's really had a bad experience with a Ouija board.
Okay.
I've always had positive ones.
Okay.
So was this Ouija board in your house, or is it something that you guys did as a family that you feel opened something up, or?
Sorry, I had to clear my throat real quick. So no, what happened with this Ouija board was, to kind of give a little more background, my mom was approached by one of our neighbors, right, who was a good friend of hers. She says to my mom's name is Joanne. She says, Joanne, it's my son's birthday. Can we have the birthday party in your apartment? The thing is, we all live in the apartment complex area, and they're pretty much almost the same looking. My mom says, why do you want to have it in mine versus yours? And she says, oh, you're and she kind of, got to the point. She's like, I want you to cook for us. Can you please cook the food for us? My mom says, okay, cool. So my mom's, hosting the party. She's cooking the food. And so while she's cooking, the lady, her friend, her son in question, walks into the apartment with us, with his friend, and they brought the Ouija board into her home. It was there. It belonged to her son's friend. And so when they brought it in, this happened this was back in like at least 88 or 89, 1988, 1989. So I was a little kid. And again, when I'm seeing this, going down, I was oblivious to what's going on. I'm like, I don't know what this is, and I'm just watching, and they take it out, and all I remember is them laughing and, playing with this game. And I remember my mom coming out of the kitchen. She was sweaty. She was tired from cooking, and she's drinking some water. And all of a sudden she sees these two boys playing with the Ouija board, and she's like, what are y'all playing? And she comes in and sees what it is, and she's like, this stops immediately. Get out of my apartment now. Everybody leave. She got the cooked food. She goes, here, take your food with you. Everyone out of my apartment. And so while this occurred, and she was pretty much running everybody out, I had to use the restroom really bad, right? And the restroom was on the second floor of our apartment complex. Excuse me. And so I was walking to the second floor, And one thing I want you to know is at the bottom of the steps, there's a light switch, right? You turn the light switch on and it illuminates the stairs. I'm walking halfway up the stairway and the light turns off. And I look up like, what the heck is going on? Sorry, my allergies are real bad today. So I make it halfway up, the light's off. I'm like, okay, I keep going. When I reach the top of the stairs, my room's on the left. I look and I see a man sitting down on this really vintage old school desk that was handed down to me. And so with this desk, if you can try to imagine it, it was like a desk with a chair like combo. They connect together, and it was an old school like a metal desk. It was rusted, and me as a child, I was always heavy set, so I didn't get to fit in the desk. Right, it was too small. When I look towards my room, I see this full grown man sitting in the desk, and all I kept thinking was, how can he fit in the desk or on the chair and not me, So I just went to the restroom. I used the restroom to come out. Now my room's on the right side now. I look down the way. The man's still sitting there. And he turns, and it's like it wasn't so much like he was looking at me. It was like if he heard something, so he's looking my direction. And then I go down the stairs. My mom's laying the last person out of the apartment. And I said, Mom, your friend's upstairs. She says, what friend? We go to the second floor. As we're walking to the very top, the light turns back on. Because mine, it was off the whole time. The light cuts back on. And we both look up and we kept going. So when we get to the top of the stairs, we look to the left to my room and there's nobody there. And that was like the first experience that I had personally, due to this Ouija board being played. And here's the thing, again, I don't know if it was a Ouija board that caused that to happen. But later on, throughout us living there, we found some really interesting information, and I'll go over that later. But it was just a crazy a time when that thing was brought into our home.
Just thinking about this and talking about it, does it still make you anxious somewhat? Does it still?
I mean, not really.
Does it still play on your mind?
Not really. I mean, it's been so long. One thing I would love to do if I had the opportunity is go back to that apartment where I was living at one time and try to talk to the actual, the current renters and see if they're experiencing anything since then, because this was back in the 80s. So, it'll be interesting that people are still experiencing stuff because we moved eventually. But if they are experiencing anything, I would love to do like an investigation there and kind of, go back there as I am now and just see what I would document.
Yeah. I think when anybody's had an experience like that at home, I mean, we've got a team member and he's so logical in his approach and how he investigates. And he told me he originally started because he had a poltergeist at home that started flaring up and doing things to him. And when he tells me that, I 100% believe him because I know how he investigates. And he always says, he would love to go back to that house because he's since moved and see if the current owners have experienced anything there. I mean, his house was a brand new house at the time. He bought it brand new. So it must have been something with the land with his.
Okay.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it definitely is interesting.
Definitely sounds it. So somebody's got a dog in the background from the sounds of it.
It's me, sorry.
Okay, no, that's not me.
Still going in a minute.
We've got somebody not very far from you, actually, Mike, who's just popped in on the background, and I don't think you would know her, but she's just popped in the background to say hello to us. It's our Mary.
Oh, he's going to put me on live now.
I don't want to find this.
Wait.
Somewhere, I don't know where.
He knows who I am.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
Mike knows who I am. I follow him.
Mike,
Mike,
you
it's
know Mary.
shit. I can't find myself. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
See, I know Mike. I follow Mike.
Oh, wow.
It's me, Mary Whitcomb. I'm the one from Braintree
Yes, ma'am.
in
How are you?
Massachusetts. See, I'm good. How are you? I was
I'm
like,
great.
oh my God. I'm like, MPS. All right, Sharon, I'll talk to you when you get back. Bye. Shit, sorry. I got 9 things going on, but I was just listening to you, and I'm trying to talk to her at the same time. Oh, come on, Frankie. How are you guys doing?
All good, Mary. Thanks very much. Yourself?
Oh,
I'm
well,
pretty
Mary.
good. I'm
Oh.
good. Mike,
Mary-
I can't wait for you guys to get back out.
Oh yeah. Right now we're well, actually last night we had an
What was it, the
investigation.
Devil's Bridge?
Oh yeah, Devil's Bridge was a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that
that's
was a
all
good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
See, I know.
But last night we had
Yeah,
an
that was a
investigation.
fun night.
Yeah, we had an investigation last night, but due to the whole COVID-19, here in Texas, I don't know how it is for you guys everywhere else. We can be in groups 5 or more.
Oh, we
So-
can't be in any more than 2 unless
Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
really?
unless you're part unless you're with your family, you know.
I think our group. I think Massachusetts is 10 or less.
Yeah, ours
Excuse
is
me.
we
I think
can't be
it's.
in one 5 or
I want to
more.
say it's 10 or less.
Yeah, so I sent
Sorry.
3 of my investigators to go investigate for the client, and I was up to like 4 a.m. waiting to hear updates, and they never got back to me. They were just so focused on the case, which is great, and I just
Right,
fell
yeah.
asleep. So they came this morning to drop off some of the evidence for me to review. So I'm excited
Awesome.
to go over that.
I'll be looking forward
Oh,
to seeing
that's
that as
cool.
well. Yeah, definitely. Mary comes on to a lot of our live streams over here as well. And
I make everybody laugh.
all she does is make us laugh. That's what she comes on and she's amazing. She just makes us all laugh.
That's awesome.
We have some
Yeah, we
live
have a good
streams.
time.
That's it. We have some live streams we just can't do anything but laugh because
Right?
that's
Definitely.
how-
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to laugh.
That's
Oh
it.
yeah. That's
it.
definitely true.
But I saw you on, and I had to come on and say hi because I always say hi to you in chat. And
Oh,
I'm
my
like, I want to
pleasure.
go live. I want to go say hi to him.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Love to see
Oh,
you,
you're
Mary.
welcome.
Have you got a question for him, Mira?
No, not really.
Have
I
you
just
got a
want to say
question
hi.
for him? Oh,
I just wanted to say hi. I watch him all the time when he's live.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Aw.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
That's
oh my God, Mike's on. And I was like, oh, and I put up my purple hats. I said, I gotta go.
Yeah,
I think-
you
Yeah,
two were
hopefully
really
one
busy.
day,
There you go.
hopefully
There you
one
go,
day I'll be
Mike.
able to get a T-shirt from you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're ordering some more actually, so
Awesome.
I'm excited to get that new order in. I'm excited.
Oh, cool. Because it's
Yeah.
purple, my favorite color.
We had
Yep.
Daryl Marston on last week, and he was wearing one of Mike's T-shirts at the time.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So,
Oh, that's cool.
but you'll be able to see more of me on, and hopefully Charlene, if she's free, coming up as well. Because next week Thursday next week, this time, same time, start streaming on the Paranormal Warehouse. So,
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so-
awesome.
you'll be seeing myself mainly, and then Charlene hopefully when she can.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh, I
so-
can't wait.
Yeah, definitely. So, and first guest next week, Mary, is John Sixth Sense. So,
Oh, yay, Johnny boy.
so John will be on
I'm
with
a,
me next week.
Mike, I'm a mascot.
Yeah, he's
Imagine
Oh, really?
that. The
Mary's a mascot.
crazy Bostonian's a mascot for John Sixth Sense.
That's
Oh,
it.
Yep,
nice.
I am.
Okay.
That's why my name is Mary Mascot. I should fix
Wow.
that. I'm gonna have to doctor that up.
Mike, if you're not sure who John Sixth Sense is, John runs on Facebook. He's probably I think his page is the second biggest in the UK. And I mean, he average on his live streams. When he's investigating, he averages anywhere from 800 to 1,000 viewers continuously. So
It's amazing.
very, very big live streams in the UK. He is. So
That's awesome, man. I would love to get those numbers. I know I met this. There's one team who's from Mexico, right? And they have over like 850,000 followers.
Wow.
And each night they average
Whoa.
about 10,000 people watching their videos a night just watching live, and I'm like, what the heck? How do I gotta do that, man? That's
I
amazing.
know.
Oh man, I remember I was watching one of your lives, and all of a sudden, all the trolls came in talking about the coaches and stuff.
Man, that was ridiculous.
And you're like, just report them. So I was like, report.
I don't. Okay, so
You're pains in the asses.
yeah, real quick, Dan. So we went to a local cemetery one night, right? To get, I call it filler content to keep our viewers entertained, right?
Yeah.
And so there was a tour. There's several tour groups here in town, and there's one called Sisters Grimm.
Okay.
And they have this bus that goes around, and they drive people, and it's mainly tourists, and they're drinking, they get drunk, whatever, and they'll drop off in the cemetery with different devices, and they go walk around. Well, these people started walking towards us. We're investigating live, and this is all live on Facebook. I started handing out my business cards to everybody, and when they leave, out of nowhere, my live stream just starts getting slammed with trolls. People are like, "So, is this where you find the haunted sofa?" And I'm like,
oh man!
Oh, I've had that in the couch sale.
Yeah.
In the couch sale.
Yeah.
Yes, the couch sale. Yes.
The latest
It's
one over
probably
here.
the same ones.
The latest one over here was fridges. They started doing over.
Yeah, they did that too. Yeah,
Oh, the fridge too. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, and then I was like, how do I report him? Then I'm like hitting my screen, and I'm like, oh, I got it now.
Touch wood.
It's actually a game in a group.
That's it.
That's what it is. And they all enter overnight, because I had a look what it was. And they put your live stream into that group, and then they all play, and you're supposed to follow it, right? And if you, I think, put your hand on your head or something, like loser, she'll stop it.
Oh, really?
They do. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that next time. I'm gonna try it.
Right. Hey,
play along with them and just put loser, then they've won the game.
Wow.
See, I didn't know anything about that.
Next
you can give it a shot, Mike.
I've been waiting.
It'll all be like this, Mary.
I've been waiting for one of mine.
Yeah. Loser. Mike will have to pull me in live. No.
Mary, it's been lovely to see you.
It was nice to see you guys.
Well, no
you
doubt,
know I had to pop on.
Oh, I know. Always
Thank
welcome.
you, Vera.
Thank you guys very much. I hope you guys are all well.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Okay.
All right, sweet.
Bye.
Bye.
It was nice to get talk to you, Mike. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, she's lovely.
Oh, bless her.
She brightens everybody's day.
You've got a fan there, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice to see the fans. Not too long ago, because I make our t-shirts for us, right? I make them out of vinyl. And I was at a store trying to buy some vinyl for our shirts, and some lady's looking at me. She's giving me this weird eye, and I'm looking at her back, and I'm like, do I know her from somewhere? And she kind of like starts slowly creeping towards me, and I'm kind of freaking out. I'm like, who is this lady? And she goes, excuse me, are you Mike? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, with MPS? I'm like, yes. She's like, were you on this video? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, can I get a hug? I was like, okay. So it was nice.
Right, we got a little just back to the chat very quickly. Callie Lee Springer popped up a little message a little while ago, said, I so love the American accent.
Thank you.
I know, Mike, you do have a very cool accent, I have to say.
Likewise.
Very soft.
I don't know what mine sounds like, you see. I mean, I don't know, because some people say I sound a little bit Welsh sometimes. I'm not Welsh, but some people also tell me down here where I am in Wales, they tell me I sound a bit farmerish. But
no, the one who was really hard to follow was what was the other guy's name again? I'm sorry.
Who? Sorry, Drew.
Drew, man. He was like, I was trying to follow him, man. I was like, I was gonna keep nodding my head.
Drew's funny. He's very quirky. Drew is. He's very quirky. He struggles with his reading and things like that. You see, but part of that dyslexia. So, but that just adds to his quirkiness. And it's one of the things what a lot of people love about him is that quirkiness that he has, and it just makes him him. But he's from an area of South Wales called Pembrokeshire. So if I brought Trisha on, Charlene would tell you with Trisha's even harder to understand sometimes because she's from an area in Wales they call the Valleys.
Yeah.
And they have quite a distinctive tone and distinctive accents.
Gotcha.
I mean, Charlene's up in Yorkshire, aren't you? You're that area, aren't you? South Yorkshire area. So actually, you're Nottingham, sorry, aren't you? That's it. So if
do you know Robin Hood? Heard of Robin Hood?
No.
Robin Hood.
No. Robin Hood. Yes. Sorry. I'm like, I heard Robin. I'm like, what's the second word now?
Oh, that's the area Charlene's
from. Robin Hood land.
So,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Charlene, you'll hear Charlene's. It's a different accent altogether. So, just looking back at the chat very quickly because I've been listening. So, Tracy Evans said Mary's starstruck like me. There we go. So you got somebody in the chat who's starstruck at the moment, Mike. Where are we? And Tony Cherie says she loves watching that show, Grimm. There we go. So I think they were talking about the TV show Grimm by the looks of it at that point and the accents and things. So
oh my God, look at this. Hold on, Dan. So one of your people said, Mike, are you from Mexico? and it's funny because I was just thinking before they said that I get confused a lot when people come to me like, hey, are you from Mexico? And I'm like, do I have a Mexico accent, And some people are like, well, you sound like you're from Mexico. I'm like, man, I've never been there my whole life. I've never been there. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I mean, we're close to it, but I've never been there ever. So that's funny.
That's it. Texas and Mexico, they border each other a little bit, don't they? Or they do border each other, don't they? So
I'm supposed to be going to Mexico this year.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if I end up going with all this, but I am supposed to be going.
Sandra Roberts says she's from Liverpool, so even harder to understand.
The
Liverpudlian accent can be as well, yeah. So
I went to Liverpool for a weekend, and when they're drunk, because they talk extra fast when they're drunk, I was just floored. I had no idea what they were speaking about.
Oh man.
We used to have a show over here. It was a comedy show, sketch show called Harry Enfield Show. Mm-hmm. And they used to do things like they had these three guys on there called the Scousers. They're all from Liverpool, and half the time all they do is go like this. They go, hey, calm down, like that. And that was pretty much
calm down.
That was it. And they just had they had tracksuits on, like Chelsea.
Yeah.
And headbands, like a tennis player, and a big fuzzy hairdo. So it's a bit of a strange one, but that's generally most people. If they say anything about Liverpool, they sit there and they go, "Hey, calm down," like that. So going back to your experiences, then, Mike, what's the with exception of the Ouija board situation, what would you say is there any time that has necessarily freaked you out fully while you've been investigating the things?
I mean, not really. I mean, there's only been, and you're talking about in regards to the Ouija board or just in general?
In general, yeah.
So in general, I mean, there's only been one time where I call it, I feel like there's a moment in every investigator's life who comes into the paranormal where, you may question, should I really be doing this or not? Not to say that you're I'm afraid I need to stop, but just you kind of question like, hey, you know what? This is something serious to deal with. This is not for fun. I mean, it's not a game, this is a real thing that people deal with. And should I be doing this, And I had a moment one time where my mom, she was renting I'm not sure if you're familiar with what a duplex is. Do you know what that is? Okay. So we had a duplex, right? And or not we, but my mom was renting one. And normally in a duplex, it's broken down to it's one house that's separated to two apartments or two houses.
We call them a masonette.
Oh, okay.
That's what we call it. Yeah.
Okay. And so where my mom was staying in the duplex, nobody was living in the second part of it because nobody would last there for some reason. And so the gentleman said, listen, you can have the whole house to yourself. for a very, very low price. My mom's like, let's do it. So my mom rented the place, and it was an older home. And so this was back in like 2009. She kept telling me, Mike, I need you to come to my house. Something's going on. Come check it out. And I was like, okay. And I found it MPS in 2008. So, I was not even a year into it, into having the team. And at the time, it was just me by myself. So I go to her house finally, and I walk up to the front door. Excuse me, and I had two people with me. As I walk up to the front door, when you see a duplex, or at least here, there's two doors in the front of the house, or the apartment, wherever you're at. And one door had a big old lock on the handle, so you couldn't open it. So I knew that was not the place. I looked to the one to my left, and the screen from the door was locked, but the actual door was open. I said, Mom, I'm here, Mom. Can you open the door? And from the distance, myself, and I had two people with me. We all heard her say, hold on, don't leave. I'm getting my shoes. Don't leave, please. I said, okay. So I turned my back to the door, and I'm just listening to the two people who are with me. They're just conversating. Well, I noticed that the neighbor next door, he had a privacy fence, right? And normally here, in when you have a privacy fence, it's a wooden fence. It's really high. Well, this man, he had a sheet metal fence, so it was real thin metal, but it was really high, like a privacy fence. And from where I was standing, I can see over it, and I'm looking at his yard, and my eyes are following the fence all the way down to when it meets where the street is at. When my eyes meet where the fence and the streets at, my mom comes walking from around the fence, and I'm like, and I look at her from the distance, and I'm like, wait a second, how did she go from being behind me in the house to coming from the street, from the fence area? And she walks up, she's like, hey, I was calling you to your phone, but you weren't answering the phone. And I said, wait a second, and my mouth just dropped, and she was like, how come you weren't answering? I said, wait, how'd you go from being in the house to coming from, down the way? And she was like, I've been at the store the whole time calling you from the phone there. And I said, no, we all heard you right now say, don't leave, I'm getting my shoes. She says, no. And so I go, come here, come to the house. So she walks up, I knock on the door again. I said, Mom, are you gonna open the door? It's myself, my mom, and two people who are with me. My mom hears her own voice coming from within the house saying, I told you to wait, let me get my shoes. And my mom's right next to me. And that just,
oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, it scared me. And it was more of like, whatever this is an intelligent thing that's there. Who knows how long it's been here, and I get to go in there and see what it is. And I was a little afraid. And so we go to the backyard, and this is even strange. My mom's boyfriend at the time, he was having a barbecue. He was grilling some meats on the grill. And normally when someone's cooking outside, I mean, you can smell it from a distance,
Yeah.
When we're in front of the house, you can smell nothing. It was like if it was just a normal day. No, I mean, and that's strange because there's no way that even when the wind kicks up, the house is not going to block the scent. You still smell it. Maybe the smoke will go away, but the actual scent, you're going to smell the food. We couldn't smell nothing, man. It was really weird. So anyways, we're back there, we're eating food, and we're just talking, having a good time. Finally, midnight comes. We go into the house. I told my mom and her boyfriend, I said, listen, I'm going to set up some equipment. Don't come out of the room for anything. I don't care what it is. Just stay in the room. If at any point you're moving around, doing anything, just say, I'm moving, I'm turning the TV on, off, whatever. Just try to tag what you're doing. That way my recorder can distinguish what's you, what's me, and what's the actual spirits there. And so we do this investigation, and we cleared the area to see that if there was anything that was going to harm us, which there wasn't. We go into one of the rooms, and normally when I investigate, we pray before the investigation, and then we decide, okay, depending on where we're at, we'll break off into two teams and cover the location. We'll find a spot, and then we start communicating. In this case, I said, you know what? Listen, let's just sit down, because it was only 3 of us. I said, let's just sit down and let's just stay completely quiet. Don't make a word, don't make a sound. Let's let whatever's here get curious enough to come to us. I want the scenes to get curious and be like, who are these people? And come to us. Sure enough, we're there for about 10 minutes. I kid you not, as we're sitting there, this house had old wooden floors. So if you were to step from the distance, I mean, I can hear you coming from, from the ways coming towards me really loud. I'm sitting there, we are sitting there, and I hear boom, boom, boom. Like steps are coming towards us from where the front door is at. And as it's making its way towards us, the closer it gets, and it just kind of like added to the scariness, right? As it was getting closer, the steps were getting louder, the door handle would rattle. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a scary movie, right? And so, it's rattling. And then the steps, they stop right in front of the door. And all I can think of was, I have a feeling that my mom's boyfriend is playing a trick on us. He's trying to prank us. So I get up very slow and I tell the guys I'm with, I'm like, listen, I'm going to count to 3 and I'm going to open the door fast. They're like, okay. I count to 3. I whip the door open. There's nobody there.
Wow.
And we have a camera in the hallway facing that direction. So if anybody were to walk up to us, that camera's going to document it, right? And so when this was occurring, it hits me like, man, this is a real thing. This is not what you see on movies or TV. This is a real thing that people can go a whole lifetime trying to study, trying to investigate, trying to, get answers, and you may never get those answers, And I'm like, who am I to try to come mess with this kind of stuff, And I started questioning it in my mind. And of course, I'm still doing it. I'm still here. I'm doing this still. But at the time, it was like, man, it terrified me, But now that I've been doing this for so many years, I mean, it's not even a fear. It's not even a fear anymore. It's more of a just wanting to understand this. How does it all work, And I feel that ultimately the only way, and this is just my opinion, the only way we're fully going to understand this is when the day comes and we pass from this world to the next.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time that we're fully going to understand this. But until then, all we can do is investigate. So.
A little comment here. Sorry, Natalie Young. I just read it and it made me chuckle a little bit. Ghost stories told in a British accent are interesting, but ghost stories told in an American accent are gripping.
They are.
Quite a few people saying then about how oh my god, wow, that is scary. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think I've never had that.
Was this when you was younger then? Was this before you was investigating or while you've been investigating?
This is when I literally, I was maybe less than a year into actually investigating.
Right.
So you were quite green in that respect, and you were sort of that sort of exciting time, but the freaked out as well, and a little bit in the background, I should say.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because
was this at the same house with the Ouija board as well?
No. This is 2 different completely locations. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is your mum and dad like got a spiritual background?
Well, my father's never been around since I was a kid. So my mom, when she was growing up, she herself had many experiences living with my grandmother. She had a lot of experiences. So when this occurred with the Ouija board, that's why she was so reluctant to just have everybody leave, because she knew what this board was capable of doing. So she was like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with that. Get out of here.
Yeah. So Callie's just asking about how long you've been actually investigating for, Mike. So you said you started your team in
2008. That's when I started investigating.
But your experience is dated right back to when you were young.
Yeah, since I was a kid, since like 1988. So it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So have you actually
do you use the Ouija board now?
Oh no, not at all. I don't use it.
No.
That's one thing about myself and my team is that, here's the thing, okay? Because when we investigate, like last year, we investigated every single weekend of the year from January through December. People contacted us every single. I mean, we were booked through the whole year straight. And when we go to people's, whether it's their home, whether it's their business, no matter what the location is, we want to help try to find resolution for the already existing circumstances, right? We don't want, I mean, again, I know people have different opinions on the Ouija board, but mine is I don't want to take something that's going to add to it. You know what I mean? I'm here to try to help take it away, not add to the already existing activity.
Contribute.
So do you do any of the other things like table tipping or anything like that, or are you pretty much predominantly equipment focused?
Actually, the table tipping, I've seen other people in videos do it, but I've never attempted to do that myself. It would be interesting to try that. I mean, I'm not sure how that works, but we're just more so of, using our devices when we investigate. But, I've been, one of my favorite devices that I loved using before, and now I'm kind of like, I'm not wanting to do it no more, is the spirit box, the ghost box. That's been one of my favorite devices. But one thing that my it's more so my ears after we've investigated, and I have to go back and play it back. It's so rough on your ears. Having to listen to that loud noise, try to find what the answer or whatever you're asking. It's just too much sometimes. So now I'm kind of like wanting to put a pause to using that thing.
I mean, I'm quite lucky with that because I got one here. We were using it last night. It's a custom built one.
Yeah,
an old fashioned radio.
You've got a silencer on that, haven't you, Dan?
This one was.
You've got a silencer on that.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't hear all the static.
Okay.
It's got reverb.
No.
It add a little bit of reverb
So
to
it gives you like bursts.
Yeah, that's it. So it does. It scans through, and you don't get all the static like you do on the SB7.
Yeah,
but yeah, the SB7 especially is very hard to. Yeah, I mean, Charlene's got her own app that she uses, which where if you heard it working,
yeah,
it's quite an amazing thing because the amount of stuff that Charlene gets with that app, which is all relevant, especially, and I mean, Charlene has a theory on echo. Am I right, Charlene? I'll let you explain that one.
Well, do you use apps at all, Mike, or do you not rate them?
Well, originally someone came to me and brought to me this app, and I'm gonna show you the app that I started using real quick. Let me show it to you.
It'd be interesting to get Mike to download your one, actually, Charlene, and give that.
I was using this app. Let me see if you can see it. You see this
Necrophonic, yeah.
See, I was using this one.
Oh yeah.
I was using that one for a while, and then people started telling me that I mean, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, is these apps and some of the devices, I think they're more meant for entertainment wise. It's not really meant for, hey, let me provide hardcore evidence. It's just here, let me end, because there's people who will watch, and I've tested this before. I've had investigations where I only use just recorders, just the basics, right? And people don't want to watch that. They want to, they want to hear these loud, crazy sounds coming through, and they want to be scared, and then when you do use those apps and those devices, they're glued to watching what you're doing, So it's hard sometimes.
That's one of the downsides to this country. See, it's what I was saying earlier on, that we've noticed over the last week or so when we've been talking to a lot of you guys over in the States. One of the things we've noticed is that over here it's more about people watching the live streams and things and it is a bit more the entertainment side of things.
Yeah,
say rather than like with you guys, everybody so far who's been on has said how they work is they look at the historical side, they try and and then they look at any of the background of the premises and etc. and they work with that. Yeah, we do have some groups that do it, but one of the things we find is that the ones that are viewed mainly more and that will be using more of the apps like your Necrophonic or your the other one, we got one over here called Paratech, which people use a lot, and it's a word generator. Then They like it's this one that Charlie and I bring up a load cat balls. Do you know what cat balls are?
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that the cats play with the little. They have lights, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Something that
flash.
almost every team in this country, I think, apart from me, has.
There are cat balls everywhere.
And
Cat ball.
it's like the whole country's inundated with cat balls.
Wow.
And basically they seem to be using them a lot because they go off, and rather than looking at different methods of doing things to be able to get more relevant responses, you know.
Yeah.
I use an app.
Well,
I regularly use an app called the Portal Plus. But I use
Portal. I like the Portal because Matt's made the Portal, and I know Matt.
Yeah.
And he's a skeptic, and he's got no reason to be entertainment. There's two kind of apps. There's entertainment apps, and then there's ones that where a researcher has put a hell of a lot of thinking and process into what they think works.
Yeah.
So there's two kinds. Generally, the ones that are more serious that you don't pay for, they're free. And like Matt's the same. The Portal, he is a skeptic, but he does tend to believe in ITC quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that devices can be manipulated. And then the creator that did mine was Brian Holloway.
Okay.
And basically what mine is that it's audio, like chants, because there's a dark side and there's a light element. I wanted the dark and the light in it. So there's chants of light and there's chants of darks mixed in the banks.
Okay.
They're then chopped up and they're reversed.
Okay.
In the banks. Okay. So in theory, you shouldn't, there's no words in it. They're chopped up that much that no full word is produced.
Okay.
Okay. So the theory is that you ask spirit to call out, you call out to spirit and ask spirit to use the device to try and say a full word or a full sentence.
Yes.
And if you do, you know, that's what you're looking for there.
Okay.
I've also got an echo feature on mine because I believe that spirit can hear better in echo.
Yes.
So when you give out an echo out there, they can hear it better and receive it better, and then come back through the echo.
I was Charlene using hers the other day, and I messaged saying, "Is that your voice I'm hearing through it?" And it's just the fact that the app takes her voice in and then echoes and fires it out again, but echo with an echo.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when you hear it.
That's interesting.
So I mean, you don't always get things on it, but like last night I got swearing on it and all sorts. And the other night when I did a live stream was probably the best I've had with my app using it. We got loads through on it, and at the time of hearing it, it sounds like gibberish.
Yeah.
But every now and again, a full word may be produced that you can hear in the undertones, and then that's what's interesting. Now my app, people say, oh, these apps can tap into your media sources, can tap into your settings and stuff. Well, I asked specifically for it not to do that. So when you download it, will come up with a thing, allow access to the media, and then it will say denied, access denied, because I didn't want anyone to say that it was accessing the media from my tablet or my phone or whatever. So purposely asked for that not to be on.
Yeah.
So it is a bit more scientific based if you believe in apps.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what your
they're
thoughts
not
are,
everyone's
Mike,
cup of tea.
for me, whether it's an app or whether it's an EMF meter or whether it's whatever, it's certainly worth trying.
Oh yeah, I mean,
open-minded on it.
That's it.
I mean, because the way I see it is, and this is just my opinion. I mean, whether people agree with it or don't, you know, like I mentioned, there's no person on this planet who knows 100% how everything works. So,
exactly.
you know, we have to take chances and try certain things, because, let's just say, for example, tomorrow there's a breakthrough, and, they say, hey, well, if you use a certain device, you're 100% guaranteed to communicate with the spirits. I mean, you don't know until you try it. So, I mean, there's devices that are not necessarily created for the paranormal, and you can use them, and you're able to communicate with the other side. So, I'm all for trying new things, but if, let's say, the end result is going to harm you in any way, I will not use it. You know what I mean? I'll be like, no.
Moving on to different equipment quickly, though. I mean, one of the biggest things we find when you're watching live streams, especially, is how much if you're live streaming yourself, how much it affects some equipment, like your EMF meters, K2s, things like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen these little things?
What is that? Is that like a thing on the back of your phone? What is that?
Yeah. It's basically an EMF blocker.
Oh, wow. No, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. So, I mean, I bought them off eBay, pack of 6 of them. EMF blocker, and it turned up this morning, stuck it on the phone, and turned my K2 meter on. Okay. And I literally went up. I think I was 3 inches away from the K2 before it went off, whilst watching the live stream on my phone.
Yeah.
So I thought, same sort of thing as any other bit of equipment. I thought, give it a whirl, see what happens, see if it works at all.
Yeah.
Tried it with another EMF meter as well, a digital one. Obviously picks up on a different frequency of the electromagnetic field, and it seemed to work in a similar principle. About 3 to 6 inches away was when it actually started going off. And even then, it was reading about 1.8 milligauss at that point, about 3 to 6 inches away.
Oh, wow.
So it seems to certainly soak up a lot of the EMF coming off your phone.
Oh, nice. That would definitely come in handy, man. That would definitely come in handy.
So I thought, well, give it a whirl, see what happens with it, have a play around and go from there. So I've got somebody else sitting in the background briefly. I'll bring her on in a minute. But in terms of equipment, Mike, what sort of bits and pieces do you actually use when you go out?
So, me, I'm all about just simplicity, right? So I love to use, whether it's my audio recorders, my handheld Sony Handycam cameras. But when it comes to actually, devices that we've purchased that were, again, created for the paranormal, I love using the K2 meter. I like the ghost box every now and then, just depending on my mood. And we like to try a lot of things that are not so much, like one of the things we love using is, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but we try to find, because we in this field, the moment something is labeled ghost hunting equipment,
yes,
the price goes through the roof, man. I mean, they're charging for like a house payment.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
Never.
I can't say much, Mike, because I used to have a few years
eBay,
ghost hunting
equipment.
So one of the things that we don't normally talk about too much, but Charlene's got a doll there, which is one I built for her, which is it is an EMF one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I ask her that every time. I took basically what I used to do was I used to buy K2s in, and I used to strip them to pieces, and then rewire them into an object like a doll or a bear or something. Yeah. And I had a guy who was part of my team a few years ago, and if you remember the original Ghost Hunter series, if you remember the original EMF Teddy that they used to use, that was built by us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was built by the guy who I had in my team who used to build bits and pieces for me at that point back then. And awesome. He shipped that out to the Ghost Hunters TV show. He didn't realize it was going to them until they went to use it. But the doll that it's a Raggedy Ann type doll, similar, but not quite the same as your Annabelle. But
no.
But I don't know if Charlene uses it.
It's quite good. It's good for a trigger toy.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you're in somewhere and possibly kids and stuff, it's good to use as a trigger toy. And obviously, you've still got the level. It's green, yellow, and red.
I think feet started with green.
That was it.
Then, so
yellow.
Feet were green, hands were yellow. and then it went up to, I think, did I do eyes?
Yeah, red
We
eyes.
we used to do red eyes on it, red LEDs on the
Nice.
side. So yeah, but what, we obviously, any other equipment that you tend to use?
I mean, it just all depends, man. Oh, and I was trying to get to this point. Or what I was gonna say was, some of the things that we like to use are just things that we make ourselves, like just around the house. Like I had mentioned the other day was getting fishing wire. The fishing wire to go fishing with, and we tied them to the bells, like for Christmas bells. And we'll go, we'll hang them up on door handles. We'll hang them up on anywhere we can hang them up on. And we've had cases where when there's children involved, I mean, you will hear with your own ears, like these things being interacted with. Something's playing with them and it's being documented. It's an amazing thing. We have a doll that we use. We got it from a local grocery store, and it's it activates when you go buy it. If you clap your hands or do certain things, it'll activate.
Right.
And because again, you never know what's going to work in the field, especially as a trigger object. So my one of my investigators, she purchased it, and we use it, and it's a normal doll, but it sounds so creepy. And we'll put it in certain places, and we explain to what's there, like, hey, if you go up to it and you mess with it, it'll turn on. And but again, I'm more so of just regular, just simplicity. If you give me a recorder, you give me a cameraman, that's all I really need, man. Honestly, that's all I really use.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Charlene, very quickly, Callie's asking, can we see the doll?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Is she available?
Molly.
It's on
There she
Molly.
is.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen Molly properly for a long time.
Wow. I can see the
The
eyes.
battery's working. 1 minute.
There you go. But yeah, we used to put sound in as well. Look. So we'd hook these up.
It's actually not that sensitive. I mean, this live stream isn't setting her off.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing, really. Because what we do, Mike, is we use these little piezo buzzers and stick them into it as well.
Okay.
So give the K2 sound.
And talking about dolls, I have a current client. She actually made a purchase several years ago from the UK. She bought a doll, and the doll's name is Sally, and it came from a line of mediums, the family. And the previous owner, she passed away. She was about, I think, like 98 years old, and she passed. And so her family put up her belongings for sale, and one of them happened to be the doll. And now my client has it. And let me tell you, man, I've investigated that doll since 2016, and that. I feel like that's that doll, whatever's attached to it, is very powerful, and I've had a personal experience with it. I've documented some really great stuff. I would love to share with you guys soon. But that doll,
I'd
man,
be
it's
interested.
awesome.
I've got a bit of I love my items. I'm a massive believer in items. Because why can't an item just be the same as a location?
Yeah.
And
Before we get into that side,
you probably can.
Charlene, before we get into that side, sorry, I've just got Cheryl sat in the studio at the moment, wants to pop on and say hello to Mike. Cheryl, hello. Is she still with us? Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, a little static here.
Ah. How are you tonight? Today, I should say.
I'm doing good.
Good.
That's awesome.
Did you have a question for Mike?
Well, I'm just wondering also if you've gone to any very haunted places.
Have I been to haunted places?
Have you been to very many any really haunted places?
Yeah, man, I've been to several. I mean, but here's the thing, though. One thing I tell people is that, because we get contacted quite a bit, and a lot of times, people say, "Oh, my house is haunted," or there's a place you can go to that's haunted. And a lot of times, we're able to debunk some of the things, and it just be a natural occurrence, But we've definitely seen some pretty haunted places for sure.
Yeah. What's the most haunted you've been to, then, Mike? Would you say, in your opinion?
honestly, man, I think that the top three places, and I'm gonna tell you, the first one is a house where I told my mom. I was explaining about my mom's the one she was renting. That was, I mean, you had to have been there, man, to hear my mom or see my mom standing next to me and hearing her voice come to that door, man. That was the craziest thing. I'm like, wait a second, like this is this really happening? The second one would be my
What do you think that was? Something mimicking, or what do you think was
mm,
happening there?
well
Because
after we
that's
yeah after we did
for
we
it
did.
to.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's very It's obviously made out and making out it's your mum.
Yeah.
Um. So it's either something a bit darker, or there's something else. It's are you talking like dimensional? It really makes you think, don't it?
Yeah,
Really makes you
definitely.
think what the hell is going on.
Well, when I went back to play back the evidence when I went home that evening or that night, we're asking several questions throughout the investigation, and this man's voice came through, right? And it was really crazy because he says in a whispery voice, "It's evil," right? He says it's evil, and I'm listening. Well, then six different times, right? Six times, 1 minute apart from each other, you would hear us talking, and that same voice will pop up and say evil. A minute will go by, the voice pop up, it's evil, and it says six times evil, evil, evil. Like, and I'm assuming, and all I can go off of what I was hearing was maybe something was warning me that whatever was there was evil. I have no idea.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so that was the first one. The second one has to be the dolls that we investigated,
That's a sound.
and then the third one would be it's called the haunted old Lavaca County Jail.
He was
I've heard of
to
it.
call me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that jail here in Texas, man. I've been there several times, and I don't know if you guys participate in this event, but it's a worldwide event that comes in September. It's called the world's largest ghost hunt. Have you heard of that?
Heard of it. Yeah. Definitely heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we represent the jail last year in this event, and that place, man. I've been to a lot of places, but historically wise, and the thing that the stuff that's attached to this building, you go in there, man, and no matter what you experience, you're always gonna take away something with you. So I don't care if it's an audio recording, I don't care if it's a picture or video. I mean, this place has so much activity; it's just mind-boggling.
Mm. Well,
It never disappoints then.
Oh no, never.
One of them ones.
You could be driving by and you snap a picture and boom, you get something. It's a crazy location.
yeah.
It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So going back to sorry, we lost
So I think we lost Cheryl.
yeah, we lost Cheryl then. I think Facebook seems to be messing around because we've had a bit of a drop in numbers for some reason. But so we were going back to talking about what Shining was bringing up with in terms of haunted items like dolls and things. I mean, overall, what's your opinion on them? I know you saying about obviously the doll a minute ago. What's your direct thoughts on things with items?
Honestly, man, like with these dolls, right? Because okay, I'm gonna I try to keep everything 100%. When I talk about stuff, I keep it real. I don't BS or mislead anybody.
Yeah.
But with these dolls, right? Specifically, that's what I could talk about from my experiences. But my client, we love her so much. She's an amazing person. But for those, like for example, if let's say you were just walking up down the road and you overheard her conversating or kind of the way she acts around these dolls, realistically, you think she's crazy. You're like, wait, what's wrong with this crazy person?
Yeah.
But I feel like these dolls, not the dolls per se, but the attachments, they have such a grip on her. When I first met her, and not to get off subject, but when I first met her, I told her, listen, if it comes back that whatever's attached to the dolls is the reason why things are happening, would you mind if we relocate the dolls? And I mean, she gave me a look. Like if looks can kill, I mean, I would have been dead in the spot, And it was like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just asking, And then I said, okay, how about this? You don't necessarily have to you don't necessarily have to get rid of the dolls. but let me cleanse them. Again, if looks could kill, you know. And she says, nobody is touching my dolls. Nobody is cleansing my dolls. These are mine. And, you know, it was to the point where.
I think as a doll collector, I can fully relate to what she's saying. When you have these dolls or these items, you automatically become their caregiver.
Yeah.
And you protect them. And sometimes I think they protect you. And it sounds crackers, it really, really does. But they protect you and you protect them. Because we're not just talking about a doll. We're talking about a person who's passed away that's attached to a doll or an item. So we're not just talking about a doll. You know, people think, and we see it as a person around the doll rather than it just being a doll.
Definitely.
And I think, and you end up being attached to them items yourself.
Yeah.
You do.
And the crazy part is, and not even crazy, it's just it blows my mind because, you know, she would drive around with these dolls, you know, put them in seatbelts, you know, put them in
I've
the
done it
seatbelt and like
myself.
just go cruising with them, you know, and talking about, you know, kind of adding to what you're saying about, you know, the whole protection part of them. You know, there was a time where this gentleman, I won't mention his name, but it was her ex-boyfriend. You know, they would get into arguments and she would shout out loud, "Please protect me. He's trying to hurt me." And then things would happen to him.
Wow.
And, you know, he would blame that on the dolls. Like, you know, they want to hurt me. They want to hurt me. And then, let me pull up a picture real quick. Okay. I'm going to show you, I posted it to our group last night. Cause this gentleman and the story and what I'm about to show you, this is the first time in the history of me investigating that I've ever became harmed through an investigation. Right. I mean, I've fallen down and I've hurt myself that way, but I was harmed by something unseen. Right. So let me show you.
Is that on your page, Mike?
It's on my group page. I just posted it last night. Let me see. Where is it at?
Are you the one with the two people in it with the
doll?
What was that?
Is this the one with a couple of people in it that got the faces blurred out?
No. Let me find it real quick.
I was just going to say I can probably share it to the screen.
Yeah, if you can pull it up, that'll be great. I have it on our page. The new group that I just made.
Paranormal 101.
No. It's on the Midnight Paranormal Society Midnight Watchers group page. Here it is right here. Can I send it to you through Facebook right now?
Yeah.
Here, let me.
If you message it, Dan, you'll be able to put it full screen.
Yeah, let me send it to Dan right now. Here it is. And I'll kind of give you the background. It's sent to you right now.
Oh yes, okay.
And once you put it up, I'll explain the thing behind it.
Let me just share Chrome tab a minute. There you go.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. So if you can zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better. I don't know if it lets you or not, but excuse me.
Unfortunately, it won't let me go any further with
it. No, you're okay. So
sorry, I'm gonna.
This is kind of what happened in the back. What happened leading up to this. So before the investigation, she had told me that there was a time where, you know, they were arguing, and she told the dolls, "Please protect me," and they would have, and in their own way, he would become affected. You know, he would have sleep paralysis. You know, that so many things would happen to him surrounding the dolls. You know, after that moment, well, he came to me. He says, "Listen, Mike, can you find out why they're attacking me?" And so when I went to this investigation, you know, I'm all about trying to get answers. So sometimes, you know, I was pushing for answers. You know, I was like, "Come on, you know, I want to know why you're targeting him." Well, during this EVP session, when the picture you're seeing now, when I go to my investigations, I always wear shorts, like basketball shorts. I want to feel comfortable, right? I don't want to be all hot in, you know. So I'm wearing basketball shorts, and I'm sitting there on the sofa, and I'm doing my EVP session. Well, one of the people from my team says, on the camera, the security camera in the kitchen, there's something happening over there. Can you go look at it? So I'm on the sofa, and I put my two hands, one on my left knee, one on my right knee, and I push myself up to get off the sofa. at that moment, that picture that's my right knee or my right knee area, I my hand touches where the blood's at. If you look at it, we wiped the blood because we had a first aid kit,
Oh,
but there was more blood. And I'm like, and I look at my hand, I'm like, what the hell is this? And because it's pitch black, and I'm like, what is this? I put the light that you're seeing there. I put the light on my knee, and I see blood all over my knee. And I'm like, where'd this come from? And one thing I'm gonna show you on camera. I don't know if you can see this, but I bite my nails.
Yeah.
It's a horrible a habit that I have. And so when this happens, I'm live on Facebook. You know, all our investigations are live. I get my phone. I'm like, listen, I get my phone. I'm like, you know, everybody who's watching, this is not self-inflicted. You know, I bite my nails. I didn't scratch myself. And when I wipe it from where you see now, if you can look underneath the blood, there's two white lines there
But the
where,
thing is, yeah, I mean, judging by what you
yeah,
can
I
see
can
with the
see, yeah.
with the scratches that are underneath it.
yeah, it's scratches. So the skin's peeled, like and it's going sideways
Like
from my
it's
knee.
done that, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first time. And here's the thing: when this happened, I didn't feel no discomfort. I didn't feel, you know, no pain, no itching. I didn't feel nothing. If I would have just gotten up and not touched it, and I would have went home and taken a shower, only then would I would have noticed it, discovered it.
Mhm.
But because my hand touched it, and I
And
felt the gooiness, that was there.
that's what normally happens with scratches and burns of a spiritual kind. You normally you're not aware at the time. It just happens to look, or just like might get like a little tingle,
And
and
you know
somebody
what?
will, you know,
Hey, Dan, since you're able to show things, can I send you another video of what happened? Like I have a video capture.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, just send it over to my Facebook now because that's all I've done. That's your Facebook Messenger to
Okay,
me.
okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you two videos, right?
Okay.
And these two videos, they're from back in like 20. One was from 20. Yeah, they're from 2018. Something occurs. The first video I'm gonna send you is kind of bad quality because it's an old camera, but the second one's from our security camera, and you're gonna see what happens. And this is from a few years ago. Here's the. Let me send it to you on. Here we go, because I want you to see this from this investigation. This video I'm sending, the first one I'm sending you is from the view of the camcorder.
Yep.
The second video I'm gonna send you is from the security camera. So it's loading now.
Cool.
But I want you guys to see this because, and then I'm gonna send you a recent video from like maybe a few months ago when we investigated there. And this is what we wanted to do with this last video. I'm gonna share with you this video. We're using the ghost box. We have the plasma ball out, and we have all the dolls there. You're gonna see on the video. We have my co-host to my show when I have my live show. His name's Robert. We call him Goggles because he wears night vision goggles. He came to me with an idea for a new. He's like, "Hey, can we try something new in the investigation?" I'm like, "Yes." He went to a local store and he bought this plastic tube, and inside of the tube it's wires that are in there, right? And they're connected. They're connected to, like, you know how when like the dolls, the wire can be connected to where what the if something triggers it, the lights turn on in there, right? But the way this
yeah,
tube is
yeah,
the way this tube is made is that the only way those lights turn on is if you make physical connection to it. So if I hold it one
Okay.
hand, if I hold it with one hand, it will
yeah,
not turn on. If I put two hands, it turns on. But the only way that thing turns on was with physical energy. I mean, I can touch,
yeah.
you know, the wall and touch it; it will not turn on. It has to be physical energy. So he tells me,
What
"Hey,
are
listen,
they called?
I'm not sure what the name of it's called. On the video, you're gonna see it though." And he
Yeah.
says, he goes, "How about this? Let's try touching the dolls, one of the dolls at a time, and let's hold on to this rod, and let's see if the dolls can make the connection for us." And if you really
Ah,
and if you think about it, there's no way that
makes sense.
a doll cannot make that physical connection. There's no way.
No,
And on
no.
top of and on
Share.
top of that, I'm sorry.
Just going to share that screen now.
Yeah, the second video is going. It's just
Okay,
and,
so
and forgive me for the horrible quality because I was recording off of the laptop.
no worries, no worries. So okay, I'll just hit play on that now.
Yeah, go ahead. And pay attention to the K2 meter on the table. Look at the K2 meter. Look what happens.
Wow.
Oh shit! You see that? Yeah. It moved by itself. It was against the glass.
And there's my phone when I was live on Facebook, but you're gonna see. Watch.
It moved by itself. But look, this was holding up. But look at that. It never does that. Look at that. There it goes.
Oh my gosh. That like
What's that
jumped
again?
forward.
And the second video is being sent already. You'll see.
Notice that one of the cabinet doors is open when it wasn't open before. Nah, not the ball making it go off. Oh shit! You see that? Yeah. It moved by itself. It was against the glass. Yeah. Dude, look at this. It moved by itself. But look.
You definitely physically see that move forward, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes.
And in the next
Wow.
video, the video's about to, it's already almost done loading. The second video.
Yeah.
You're gonna see this is from the security camera footage, and there's no sound there because our security cameras don't have no sound. But you'll see us walking up from the alternate angle, and no one. It's this is not like we're staging this. I mean, this is really happening. You know, we're not messing with this ourselves. So it just sent to you. You should have gotten it already.
Yeah, it's not letting me open it. I don't know why. I can see it. I'll just refresh it now. There we go. All right, 1 second. Let me just share the screen again.
And again, there's no sound here, but you're gonna see where we're walking from the kitchen, and you see. And one thing I want to get your opinion on right now on this video. After it plays, when we play it back, I want you to see something. See, I'm there, and I'm not matching that device, and it just moves by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I move that glass holder. It's like a candle thing to show people because we were leaning up against it because it wouldn't stand up by itself.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, did the next one send right? No, it's loading. But this is in 2018, and when this happens, boom, it just falls by itself. But whatever was there, it moved the K2 meter. I mean, I didn't touch it. I mean, that table was a very sturdy table.
None of you touching it. It's none of it's, you know, and then it's been up for quite a while, and it's not fell down at any point, has it?
Yeah, it's just there. And the moment I reach for that ball, it moves by itself. This next video, I'm saying you right now, it's loading. It's taking a little bit of time, but you know, you're gonna see that plastic tube that I'm talking about, and this is one of our rules, okay? Whenever you know, one of the rules we follow is that whenever we come in contact with an item that has a possible attachment, we never we never put skin to item contact. Like we're not gonna just, oh, here's the item and just grab it and go. Like we wear gloves, you know, we wear protection that way. I'm not saying that 100% it's gonna protect you, but we want to minimize the chances of that you know transferring to you, you know. And so the video I'm saying it's almost done loading. You're gonna see where
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. And so and the video you're gonna see,
that's fascinating.
It's my case manager, Mary Lou, and one of my investigators, Jeffy. With their bare hand, they're touching the rod, the plastic rod, and with their other hand, they have a glove on, and they're touching the actual doll like this. Like they're holding the doll up, and so as they're holding the rod like this, and they have the doll right here in this hand, you're gonna hear us. We're coaching the doll, like, you know, come on, you can make the connection. And what's crazy is as we're coaching the doll, the lights around the doll start lighting up on their own.
Okay.
And then it leads to where this main thing happened.
Wow.
Right, that's still loading at the moment, Mike. By the looks of it. So while we're waiting for that to load up, I'm a bit conscious of the time we're looking at the moment.
So have you studied this doll for quite a few investigations?
Oh yeah.
Studied it over a period of time.
Yes. Man, we've been doing this since
that's
2016.
Good.
It's the best way, really, isn't it? I mean, it's like Charlene with hers.
Same with me. You know,
Working on us.
what you tend to see a lot is someone who buy an item or get an item, they'll work with it once, twice, like just a 45-minute, session now and again, and that's it. But what you're doing there, you're properly studying it, you're properly investigating it, and have been since 2016, and documenting that, I'm assuming.
Yes.
That's really, really good. And you've obviously now built a bond up with whatever is attached to that doll.
I think the worst thing, though, is, I mean, Charlene probably would agree with this, but the worst thing seems to me, with dolls especially, is the fact that so many people buy them off eBay and, believe the fact that they're haunted.
Yeah, and actually my client, because, how she kind of got into this real quick, here in the States, she sells a lot of antique items. So whether it's furniture, whether it's jewelry, she sells everything antique stuff. And she came into these dolls, and she ended up coming across the ones that have attachments, and she would try selling them to people, and people would end up bringing them back saying, listen, I don't want you don't have to give me the full money back, give me at least half the money back, and you just keep the doll.
Yeah.
And she would be like, what? And then so got to the point where she's like, you know what, I'm not selling them anymore, I'm gonna just keep them for myself. Okay, the video just shared. If you can play it real quickly, so that way we can see it.
I've got Tony sitting in the background. It's going to come on in a sec. So let me just share this screen, share the tab. Right.
And just so everybody knows, this is from a live investigation on our page. You can go look at it yourself.
So you can see there, you both got purple gloves on, but bluey purpley colored gloves.
Yeah.
Plasma ball down towards the bottom. And so the young lady she's part of your team, is she?
Yeah, that's Jeffy. She's one of our investigators, and the one that you can't see on the right side, that's our case manager.
Okay, so the chap whose hand's coming in is your case manager.
Yeah. And just pay attention to the background, like they're asking the doll to make the connection, and the lights around it are turning on by themselves, and then finally the tube turns on by itself.
Let's have a little look at this one.
That's Sally right there. That's the 100-year-old doll from the UK.
Oscar, use your energy, Sally, baby. Come on. Right?
The other dolls did.
Come on,
Focus your energy.
You see the light turns on by itself?
Yeah.
And then check this out.
Just connect your energy with their energy. And it'll go out.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
And watch it. It does it a few times.
I'm so excited, Russell.
Yeah, we're definitely excited because, I mean, you never know when things are gonna work in the field. You know?
No, you don't.
And that's Sydney, who's being a little extra. That's Sydney, our investigator. She's really excited.
I want myself one of them tubes.
And they're like for science projects. I mean, they're very they're inexpensive. Like I don't know how much it is for you guys. It's like $5. It's really inexpensive.
Might have to look into one of them.
Yeah.
I know I want one. I can't. It's just knowing what they're called.
I'll find out what it's called and I'll send it to Dan. But
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Very, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, we always wear gloves because we don't want to, have anything attached to us.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's not just that; it's respectful for the doll as well.
Yeah.
Such a good job.
I think.
And one thing that's really interesting, if you listen closely, we have the ghost box running in the background, and that's just from my phone right there. But I was doing screen record, but. One thing that you hear at the very end, we're doing a countdown, like for her to do it again. We're like, come on, Sally, do it one more time.
Yeah.
And Sydney goes 5, 4, 3, 2. And when she gets to 1, through the spirit box, you hear a voice come out and say, I can't. Like it couldn't do it no more. It was really interesting.
But I mean, one of the things
like the energy is completely gone.
Did you have a spirit box running at the same time then?
Yes, at the exact time when it was going, that was going in the background.
I actually thought I heard the words "come on."
Well, we'll see. When you first watch the video, actually a word came through in Spanish. It says "claro," right? So a claro is almost like if it's like if I'm telling you something and you're agreeing with me, like claro, okay, I agree with you, right? And so we're explaining how this device works, and it says claro, like okay, let's do this, and that's when we're coaching it, and boom, it turns on.
Yeah, because
That was pretty cool.
the other thing on a scientific point of view, if it's trying to make a circuit, through your touch, so you touch either side of it, and that's what sets it off.
Yeah.
If you've got rubber gloves on or latex gloves on, that latex or rubber should actually.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
Performing anyway.
That's exactly the point of it. Yeah.
So that's from the scientific side of things. That would, that would certainly stop from happening altogether. So yeah, it's definitely interesting that. We've got Tony sitting in the background now. Just gonna bring her on. Hello.
Hey guys.
What's going on?
What do you think of the Annabelle doll?
Annabelle doll. I mean, that's it's hard. I would, you know what? If I had the opportunity, I would definitely investigate the doll just to be able to have it for a long time and investigate it. But just from what I've heard and what I've seen, I mean, it seems like it's a legit doll that has an attachment that's very powerful.
So I put it in comments, but I don't think Dan saw it. So it's I thought I'd pop on and ask.
That was the next thing I was going to put up. Tony's actually one of she does a bit of admin work for my page and also for Drew's page as well. So
Okay.
So she made a lot of admin stuff for Drew himself. But
And so, what was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't get to hear because y'all were both talking.
What do you think of the Annabelle doll?
Oh yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a very real. I feel like whatever's attached to it is very powerful. I mean, considering the things that have surrounded around this doll, like one of the stories where this person came and started mocking the doll and the attachment, and then when they left home on a motorcycle, they ended up having a car accident and died. I mean, again, is it a coincidence or was it the doll that made it happen? Who knows? But I don't take that thing very lightly. So I go with it with the utmost respect.
Not worth risking, is it?
Nope.
So.
Have you had any encounters like the Annabelle doll or not?
I mean, I've had close to it, like the ones that the stuff I just showed right now. I mean, that was pretty dead on. I mean, that and that's still occurring to this day. I mean, it's a very real thing that she deals with, but she accepts it and she doesn't want it to go away.
That's not a bad thing, I suppose. If you
see, with the Warrens and with the Warrens and their items, they was very private in what they got personally, so they didn't record. Well, they may recorded, but it's not publicly out there. They was very, very private. They took the item out. They didn't work with it anymore. They binded it, kept it in its location, and left it there, and didn't delve into trying to communicate with it anymore. But a lot of probably what happened we haven't seen, and there possibly is footage, and there is videos and and photos and stuff associated with that doll. It's just that we haven't seen them publicly because there was a very private investigators.
And there might have been like more scary for like viewers
to see.
Yeah, and see, and the one thing that really bothered me, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but when there was the episode of Ghost Adventures when the guy who now owns the doll, he brought onto the Ghost Adventures episode, and Zach was being crazy with it. I'm like, dude, don't do that.
Did, didn't he?
And then he decided to actually touch it.
Didn't he touch it? Didn't Zach touch it?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I did.
Even though he was told not to. Yeah. He invited the Annabelle spirit to go into him, and I think at one point he said it even went home with him. The spirit, but no, I know Tony Spirit. He obviously looks after the museum and that now. And I mean, I find it amazing when you see the live streams that they do from the museum, and they actually show when Annabelle's cabinets being changed or cleaned or anything, And it's really they literally do blessings on the doll and on the casing regularly,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, there was a one evening where the word spread through town that the Annabelle doll was here in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm like, wait, what? How did it get? Who brought it here? And they were like, if you go downtown, there's this bus out there, and they let you take a picture with it. Man, me, myself, and my co-founder and my tech manager, man, I said, be ready. I'm picking you guys up right now. we got up and we drove. I mean, we got there like in 5 minutes. I mean, it was like a 20-minute drive, and we got there in 5 minutes. We flew over there, and we get into the line, and I'm so excited. I have my camera ready. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna see the real Annabelle doll. And we get there, and it was all replica stuff. Because of the movie that was coming out, the last movie that came out, I was like, oh.
Let's just say there was a situation here late last year, which less said the better over here with regards to almost identical situation. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. I was all excited.
Yeah.
See, I'd actually love to go see the actual, Annabelle doll.
That's
but
the thing.
just...
As far as I'm aware, nobody gets the Warren Museum's not open anymore. From what Michelle was saying last week, the museum itself's no longer open to the public anymore. From the sounds of it.
Oh, wow.
Because the films that they made from the actual event itself, I've watched God knows how many times. I've lost count.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Do apologise about my phone ringing.
I
normally put it on silent.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I put mine on silent because I didn't want to.
That's it.
Drive you guys crazy. All the notifications.
It's normally turned right down, and then on top of that, it's on silent. For some reason, I didn't put it on silent, and so guess who it was? Just as we were talking, then it was Drew himself trying to ring me. Tony, lovely to see you on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice to see you
it's
guys.
nice meeting you.
We'll see you soon. Hey?
See you again, Tony.
See you again. Send me his link over, and I'll follow. I'll come over and follow.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you.
Will do. Yeah. So we'll see you soon, Tony. All right.
Yeah.
Cheers, Bob.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, likewise.
Bye.
So we basically pretty much run over what we were going to do. Really, it's now 20 to 10 here at night. So it'd be about 20 to 4 for you?
Yeah. About that, yeah.
Yeah. So just in closing, really. So Midnight Paranormal
Society, yeah. If you want to look us up, you can just go to Facebook and then just type in facebook.com/paranormal MPS, or you can just type in Midnight Paranormal Society. And then also, for those who don't know, and I mentioned it earlier, I'm a part of the Vibes Network, Vibes Broadcast Network. And so my next show, which is what are we today? For y'all guys, you guys are already Friday, right? You're Friday right now?
Friday tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, well, tomorrow Friday.
Friday tomorrow. Thursday.
Yeah. Tomorrow Friday. I'm gonna be having actually two shows tomorrow, around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm gonna have the ladies, the property managers from the Old Lavaca Jail on my show, and then at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm gonna have Rochelle Stratton from the Ghost Hunter show. She's gonna be on my show as well.
Oh, Rochelle's on with us on Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have her on.
I've got Brandon on Saturday as well. So
yeah, all I need now is just Grant and Kristen. That's all I need, and I'm complete.
Yeah. We've got so I say we got Saturday, we've got Brandon, we've got Rochelle on Tuesday, and then I'm hoping we can try and look at getting Mustafa and I'm gonna, my brain's just gone because I was looking it up, and this last night it was, and I was looking it up to see when Ghost Hunters is actually the new series and that when it's actually aired over here. The first series of the new generation isn't actually aired until, for the first time over here, until I think it's the 19th of May.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so over here on the 19th of May. So I'm hoping I'll get some more on soon. But of course, they're talking here about our lockdown's going to be lifted slightly from Monday. So some of the restrictions are going to be lifted from Monday. So I think next week's going to be a massive influx of ghost hunting, and for most people, and Facebook's going to go nuts with live streams of people ghost hunting from next week, I think, over here.
Yeah, so, we had a slight opening here, and when that happened, the numbers went back up with the COVID. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, hoping that it's not going to do that here. I know that we've been on a massive decline. We've been on a big decline in terms of numbers that they've actually been saying of, people contracting it. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll be able to. So it's been great having you on, Mike.
Oh man, it's a pleasure. I would love to have you guys on my show as well one day. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would definitely be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Charlene, the Vibes podcast actually is that's the one Kyle does, which is Coyote, who was on the other day.
Oh yeah.
So,
So the
Kyle
one with me then. Is that if I pop up?
Yeah, he was on with us on Monday. So so brilliant.
They'll all recognise because I'll be in the candlelight. Every single one. I've gone from daytime down to night, and then I'm in the candlelight.
I noticed that. I was like, wait, what's going on? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Mike, it's been amazing having you on. Thank you very much.
Oh,
and
thank you for having me on.
So anybody watching now and obviously watching on catch up, please pop to Midnight Paranormal Society page.
And for those who don't know, this is how it looks. Let me just wait, hold on. Oops. This is how it looks when you go to it. It has Midnight Paranormal Society on there.
Okay.
And then you had the group as well. Was the
the group, and I'm gonna show you real quick. Let me just pull up real fast. This is for our midnight watchers. This is for whenever we're done investigating and you want to come and have a good time with the rest of the viewers. This is where you come hang out at.
That's cool.
The midnight watchers.
Okay.
And then you've also got a new page starting, Paranormal 101.
Oh yeah, that one we have, and really quickly with the Paranormal 101 education page. The thing behind it, right, is that there's so many people like ourselves that we investigate, and some people, they're new into the field or even seasoned. I'm all about learning new techniques and learning new methods and stuff. And so with the Paranormal 101 education page, what we're going to do is we're going to have we're taking turns doing investigations, the people who are involved. And what we're going to do is for those who are not in the investigation, we're going to be doing commenting. We're going to be commenting in the background, and we're going to be discussing different topics. And we're going to have the team who is live at the investigation apply those topics, apply those methods. And that way the viewers who are watching, they can take note and watch, see how things are working in the actual field, how we apply them. So it's really cool. So we talk about it and actually show it happening. So
awesome.
It's a great experience.
That's brilliant.
That's good.
Awesome. And that's great. Yeah. Thank you very much again, Mike, for coming on. You've been absolutely legend. And thank you again, Charlene, for taking the time and coming on for a couple of hours tonight. So it's always good to have you on.
Thank you.
And
thank you for having me.
Tomorrow night, back with Drew doing some live readings. Saturday, Brandon Elvis from Ghost Hunters. Sunday, Drew again. Monday, we've got Paraslam with One Entity Paranormal. Tuesday is Rochelle Stratton from Ghost Hunters. And Wednesday, should have Gemma Queen Bee back doing some more card readings. And then Thursday, you'll see me with John Sixth Sense live, not only on here, but also on the Paranormal Warehouse. So please pop over and have a look at any of those events, and make sure you pop over and have a look at the Midnight Paranormal Society. And I'm going to be in the Paranormal Warehouse as well. I'm already on there now, but every Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm on there newly. So I'm excited. That would be roughly, let me think. We are
right now it's 3:48 p.m. So if it was,
that would be early hours of the morning for us then.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be on there for that 1 hour, and I'm pretty much gonna use it to either have shows or just promote other things I have going on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be looking at doing this pretty much on this sort of thing, with the likes of yourself, going from there. So, guys, thank you very much again, and thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's come on.
Yes, thank you.
Ask questions, and everybody who's been in the chat itself. We shall see you all tomorrow. Stay safe, guys.
All right, love and light. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Later. Bye bye. Bye.